Hei og velkommen til HorseClue Podden episode 61 med meg, Ronja Jansen. I dag så hørte dere sikkert at introen var litt annerledes, og det er fordi at dette her kommer til å bli en litt annerledes episode. Fordi jeg og Anna har nemlig endelig klart å lage den første episoden av den nye podcasten vår som heter HorseClue Podcast. Jeg har jo allerede fortalt dere en del om denne podcasten og hva planene våre med den er. Så jeg tenker at i dag så skal dere bare få lov å få muligheten til å lytte til den aller første episoden. Hello and welcome to the HorseClue Podcast. My name is Ronja and I am the trainer and instructor and owner of HorseClue.
And my name is Anna and I'm the first employee of HorseClue and the main horse trainer at the moment.
But first of all, maybe we should introduce the company a little bit.
Yeah.
We're specializing in classical dressage, liberty horsemanship, and connection training. I founded the company back in 2014, and at the time we were located at the family farm. Back then, the business was so small, so we couldn't afford to have any proper employees. But we did have working students, and that is how I met you, isn't it?
Yeah, I can remember. When I was in Germany, I studied equine management, and therefore I had to find a place where I can do an internship. And that was actually where I started to get in contact with Ronja and the HorseClue business. And I just asked her if I can stay over a couple of months in summer 4 years ago, actually. And yeah, that was how we met. And that was how we figured out that our work fits together and our attitude fits together. And that is how I ended up here.
In the period between like when we met the first time and now, you have had different internships and different workplaces. Maybe you would like to tell a little bit about it?
Yeah, that's right. I actually worked at a lot of different places all over the world, basically. I have been at different classical dressage places in Germany and in Australia. I also attended some race yards in Australia, which I didn't really like, just as a side information. But I also have been to very nice places in Germany that educated students on a very high level with very good school horses. And also I have been at places where I just organized some horse events. So I have some different experiences and I made them. But I figured out that this could be the place I'd like to stay for a longer time.
But out of all these places that you've been to, like, how did you end up with us? How did you choose to come back to our tiny little company in Norway?
I feel like the world in the horse business is very wide open. It's very complex, and a lot of horse people have different opinions and different kinds of working with the horses. And I just figured out that it's nice to have someone that thinks in the same way and that is questioning a lot of stuff and that is not just doing it because everyone else is doing it. And I feel like we both take care of the horses and listen to them and try to help them in different ways, not just the standard versions. And I feel it's very rare to find someone that actually thinks in the same way. And that is why I chose to move to Norway and to stay with you.
Yeah, that's very nice. And I think that is something that made us connect in the first place, that we're both kind of not following one method, but that we're all like open for changes and learning. That is what we want to do. We want to learn from each other. We always want to try to make ourselves better for the horses. It's not like we choose one trainer or one method and stick to that, but that we're very open-minded and try to get new influences all the time. And I think also that is what this podcast is going to be created for, that we want to just share how we think and how we learn and share our process with the listeners.
I also think it could be very interesting to share our thoughts of the daily horse life that we experience and that we also experience with our customers and our training horses. And I think it's good for the people to get to know different views of how you can actually train horses and how you can build up the bond within you and the horse. And for us, it's just very nice to discuss some different topics within the horse world and to invite some people who are well known in the horse business and that also have very interesting views of their way of working with the horses. And we would just like to share it with you listeners and would like you to invite to discuss some topics with us.
And also, that is also what we kind of envision for the place that we're in now, because we're not at my family farm anymore, are we?
Actually, the company grew since then, and now we have 3 employees in total, and also additionally 1 working student at the moment. So we're getting there, I guess.
And a little funny story about how we actually ended up here is because it came through our Norwegian podcast, or my Norwegian podcast, because you're not Norwegian. Very well. Very well said. But anyways, we were searching for a place for over a year. And then I mentioned it in our Norwegian podcast that I was looking for a new place for our business to grow. And we wanted like an indoor, we wanted outdoor housing, we wanted a lot of fields, we wanted paddocks, and we wanted like a place that fitted better to our business. And then it was a woman calling me, said that she had listened to my podcast and that she had the perfect place for us. And I was just like, who are you and where is it? And then we moved about 25 minutes away from our old family farm.
We actually have some visions for this very nice facility that we're at right now, which are creating a very good environment for horses, for example, with the outdoor housing and the big fields. But also we would like to build up an educational environment for our students and clients.
But we could sit here and continue talking about our place and our horses forever. So I think that we should wrap it up a little bit and tell our listeners about what we're going to talk about in the future episodes.
Some of our plans for the podcast are, for example, building up a foundation between the horse and the human. We want to talk about the horse personalities and how they affect the daily training and also your goals within the horse training. We would like to talk about how we start new horses that come in training to us, but also share some thoughts about how you can read the fear in the horse behavior and how we get rid of the fear and especially how we get the adrenaline down. So we will talk about the adrenaline ladder as well. And generally, we are going to share some experiences with clients' horses and how we solved problems and struggles for them.
But in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook under the name HorseClue, so you can basically just follow us on an everyday basis. And in our social media, you can also send us messages about like topics you would like us to talk about. If you have any issues with your horse, you can also send us a video or just tell us about your horse and we can address it in the podcast. So just feel free to reach out.
We're looking forward to share our experiences as well as you being part of our podcast and our themes and topics. So yeah, stay tuned.
Og det var den aller første episoden av The HorseClue Podcast, og det blir jo en litt annen dynamikk enn det på den norske. Og det håper jeg jo kanskje at lytterne vil like da, sånn at dere kan høre på både den norske og den engelske podcasten. Men jeg har jo Anna med meg her nå. So I was thinking, Anna, can you tell me how your first experience with podcasting is? Because we have laughed a lot today.
Well, let's just say we struggled a bit.
Just a little bit.
But we tried our best, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that the dynamic, it will come. We just have to continue doing this. But do you have any words to the Norwegian listeners that is going to listen to the very first episode of the HorseClue Podcast?
I think I'm just looking forward to what will come. So I'm looking forward to all the topics that we're going to discuss, and I'm looking forward to people who are going to interact with us during this journey. So I hope that a lot of people are asking some questions and would like to share their experiences, and just so it's like an open spot for all horse people to discuss what we have in our minds according to the horse training. So that is basically what I'm most looking forward to, actually.
Yeah, thank you. Så hvis du liker HorseClue-podden eller The HorseClue Podcast, så vil jeg at dere går inn og rater oss med 5 stjerner, sånn at vi kommer opp i algoritmen. Ellers så kan dere følge oss, både min og Annas hverdag, på Instagram og Facebook under navnet HorseClue. Så høres vi igjen neste uke. Ha det bra.
Ha det.